Hello and welcome to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. We bring you this show so we can highlight young people in our community and local organizations who are striving to make Philadelphia a better place. Our focus is on our community's next generation of leaders. Today, we're talking with members from the nonprofit Hand2Paw. This organization brings together Philadelphia youth and homeless animals in hopes that both groups can find success. Hand2Paw works with Covenant House, a Valley Youth House, and schools and organizations serving young people. The group puts these youth together with animals waiting for homes in Philadelphia and in their animal shelters. All of the animal shelters are nonprofit organizations that can't afford as much staff as they would like to train and socialize the animals in their care. That's where these young people come in. They provide the animals with extra attention and get prepared for the work world at the same time. We'll first talk with those who oversee the programs at Hand2Paw before later meeting some of the young people involved in this partnership. With me to start our program are Program Director Magda Karnowski and Program Coordinator Alexis Farrell. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Oh, yes, thank you.
So how long have both of you been involved with the program?
I started volunteering for the program about 6 years ago, and at that point it was a volunteer program, and then we decided to make it an internship program, so that's when I kind of swooped into that role.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was trying to start something like this independently out in Chester County in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and wound up coordinating with Penny, and we branched Hand2Paw out to the suburbs.
So Magda, tell us how the program got started.
Sure, yeah, so Hand2Paw got started in 2010.
So it's 7 years old?
Yeah. It got started when a vet student who was volunteering at Paws at the time noticed the youth in the area and decided that it might benefit the shelters and the youth to kind of merge both of those groups together and to provide some of the services to the animal shelters in the area, but also provide the youth with some experience as well.
So was it difficult to get started?
It wasn't too difficult to get started. A lot of the youth programs are looking for volunteer opportunities for the youth, so anytime that the youth hear that they get to come to a shelter and play with animals and get a chance to interact with them, they're pretty down to do that and come help out.
So I was looking at your website and I noticed that you partner with different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the organizations that you partner with?
So some of the organizations on the youth end would be Covenant House, as well as Youth Build, Work Ready, and other organizations that.
For my site, we have partnered with Valley Youth House in, like I said, Chester County, and we're looking to partner with them in the other surrounding counties in the Pennsylvania suburbs.
So how does that partnership benefit Hand2Paw?
It benefits Hand2Paw because we're taking kids that need to gain job skills, applicable job skills, translatable job skills, and we are giving them a different type of program than they've received before. So Hand2Paw is helping to build job skills within the youth.
Yeah.
So when they come to your shelters, what do they actually get to learn and do?
They get to learn a variety of skills. So yes, there's obviously the transferable skills, you know, like talking with the staff, coordinating with the staff members, doing some filing work. They might be helping the animals become more social with people and talking with the adopters. And on that end, you know, it also provides them with some of the soft skills that we all need to be successful in life, like communication skills and empathy and all of those other.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you do when somebody says or does something you don't like?
Yeah.
How,
Assertiveness.
yes,
Yeah.
how do we handle that?
What about any job interview skills?
Yes, that's sort of towards the end of the program. We go over their resumes with them and make sure that the skills that they learned can be transferred and applied to jobs going forward.
So what are some of the outcomes that you're looking for? So you bring in some of the youth and you introduce them to the animals, and what outcomes would meet your criteria, or do you have a criteria when they first come in for them to be part of your program, and then where do you get them, when they come in at one level, where do you expect them to be when they leave?
So I think a lot of what we focus on is building their self-esteem, increasing empathy, building self-esteem, and really helping them to feel good about what they're doing, the work that they're doing and making a difference. I think that that's a big program goal for us. And as far as inclusion criteria in the beginning, I think that we're just trying to help youth that have an identified need by either their program or a partner that we're affiliated with.
Are there any requirements for them to be part of your program?
We do like them to be part of an organization that can support them in other
Right, other
areas. Whether that's providing them with like career workshops or housing or counseling or anything like that. So it depends sort of on the organization that we partner, but we do like to partner with somebody who has a backbone to their program and we can kind of merge both.
And that's where the partnership comes in.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Share one of the stories of a person coming into your program and the success.
Well, I think, you know, it sort of depends on the age of the youth. So
That's
some
a
of
good
our
point.
youth,
What's the age range?
so some of the youth are 16 to 18 and some of them are in 18 to early 20s range,
So what's the youngest they can come into your program?
16.
Okay, great.
Because a lot of the shelters have age requirements for handling the animals. So, you know, in both of those, what we're looking for is not only for them to be able to hopefully go into a job that relates to working with animals and people, but we're hoping that the skills that they learn maybe are then used 10 years from now, right?
Right.
And continue to help them grow as people and as team members and as coworkers and benefit them in the long run, not just getting a job right after our internship.
I had a young woman, speaking to a specific example that I worked with last year, that was completely shut down, was completely unengaged with staff, with people she would work with, and was really able to use the animals, one dog in particular, to make a connection.
Right.
And we were able to kind of talk about how that connection could be transferred. And then we started practicing with other staff members, and we started practicing with other volunteers. And eventually her program would email me and say, wow, we really see a difference in her level of communication and her ability to even open up. So I think that's a specific example of one of the children that we've been able to reach.
So that has to be a great feeling. So explain that a little bit. How does it make you feel to be able to help young people progress as young adults and individuals?
Well, I think it definitely feels good for us, you know, to see them open up and for them to connect with the animals. And I think that there's something really wonderful about them seeing an animal all the way through their journey in an animal shelter.
Right.
So seeing the animals enter the shelter system and be sort of shut down and helping the animals cope with that, and then helping them find the right family to be matched with and becoming adopted and finding their home. So I think that's a really wonderful part, and it's something that they can be really proud of themselves for accomplishing.
So
I think taking it back to the community too, people that may not have been, or youth that may not have been interested in helping a stray cat or a stray dog they see on the street, or a dog tied up in a yard, you know, we may be able to say, they might be able to say, hey, you know, I want to do something about that now, because they've had these interactions and made these connections through the program.
So to be in this line of work, you have to be passionate about it, obviously. So what drove you? Did you know this is what you wanted to do always in life? If not, what drove you to this?
Well, I had been an animal lover all my life since I was younger, and once I went to college, I decided that this was an opportunity for me to get involved in different organizations and volunteer with animals. And I was going to school to be a therapist, a marriage and family therapist, and I sort of saw that connection, you know, of relationships and bonds that we have with people and interpersonal bonds that we also share with animals. And animals play such a huge role in a lot of people's lives that we can't really separate that. It's a very intimate bond, and so I was just interested in pursuing that further and helping other people make that connection as well.
Great. Alexis.
I was actually in school for social work, my master's in social work, and I wanted to build more of an educational foundation and a hands-on educational foundation for working with animals and people, kind of similar to Magna. And I wound up attending University of Denver's. They have an Institute for Human-Animal Connection, so I was able to get my certificate in animals and human health.
Right.
And I started just volunteering and doing volunteering for different programs, working with my own dogs in my work as an outpatient therapist, and I was able to get involved with Hand2Paw.
Denver's a long way away, so are you originally from this area, or did you relocate from Denver?
No, I was actually able to do it as part of a hybrid program. So
Nice.
it was online, and then I was able to fly out there and work on hands-on program development, things like that, in the human-animal bond field.
Great. Magda, what school did you go to?
I went to Temple for undergrad, and then I went to Thomas Jefferson.
Notice that, huh?
Yeah, no, I was this close.
That's-
They do
okay,
have a
good.
marriage and family therapy program here.
Nice.
Yeah, but Jefferson won me over.
Great. You are a nonprofit. How can people that want to help your cause donate?
Yeah, so they can go to hand2paw.org. That's our website, and you can find the link there to donate. And we, a lot of times, are looking sometimes for different items that we can use in the shelters, but we mainly are looking for funding to be able to pay for the internships for the youth. That's the main goal, is to be able to give them paid internships.
Right.
So
other than funding, they can do what else?
we do sometimes need, supplies for the animals, like
Gotcha.
different dog treats or cat scratchers, things like that.
Is there an Amazon Smile account?
Yeah, there's a link on our website to that.
And their website is
Hand2paw.org.
hand2paw.org.
Yes.
So when we talk to our youth about being leaders, one of the things about being a leader is being a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see the future is for Hand2Paw?
Well, I think that there's a lot that can be branched out in terms of Hand2Paw. There are many shelters in the area that are lacking some support in terms of volunteers, and my hope is that we get to branch out even more into other shelters and grow a program and be able to help more youth, which we can only do if we have the funding to do,
Right.
to branch out and spread out. But that's the hope. We'd love to have our own location where we could do some training classes and the youth can help more, in terms of behavior on that end. But one step at a time. We're still in the shelter phase and working there.
During your time, what has been the one thing that surprised you, that you didn't expect from being involved in this sort of nonprofit experience?
That's a good question.
I think an obstacle would be interagency collaboration from our end. So
Right.
coordinating all of the agencies and figuring out how that looks for us to fit into a shelter environment. Because it sounds wonderful and it sounds simple, but figuring out how we can be helpful to the shelter and not be in their way, and teaching the youth those skills also.
Right. What has been a big surprise for you?
A big surprise for me, I don't know if it's necessarily a surprise, but any time that there's that moment where I'm seeing a youth like lean into a moment with an animal that's maybe scared,
Okay.
instead of reacting negatively or punishing an animal or instinctively doing something.
Right.
There's that moment of like tenderness and care and reaching out to that scared cat or dog and really being present in that moment. And every time that happens, it's a nice, not surprise, but it's a nice reminder of why we do the work that we do.
So if you were getting a new young person coming into your program, what could they expect? So
A
you were
lot of
interviewing-
fun.
A lot of fun. Okay, that's a good
A
thing.
lot of puppies and kittens and slobbery kisses and animal fur. And so that's obviously the fun part, is doing the very interactive things. But, we do incorporate a lot of the normal shelter
Great.
work that has to be done. So there's a cleaning component to it. There's folding
Yeah.
laundry. There's providing linens to all the animals so that they're not laying in metal cages. And
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We've learned a lot about Hand2Paw, and we look forward to great things in the future.
Great. Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to hear from the youth who are involved with Hand2Paw. Stay with us.
This is Kevin, and Kevin could use some kindness. Here's Ian. He could be that man. Ian chooses to be inconsiderate and not hold the door for Kevin, and in turn, Kevin suffers. Kindness may be a choice, but doing so is always the right one. So if Ian can make the right choice, you can too.
Three, two, one, action. You may think a guy would be producing this, but I can too. Anyone can find a cure.
Women are being downgraded for their physical ability, but you can be just as strong.
%20 of women are engineers, but it doesn't stop there.
I'm a tech girl. I'm a tech girl.
I am a tech girl.
I am a tech girl.
Welcome back to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. Today we're highlighting the organization Hand2Paw, a nonprofit aimed at bringing Philadelphia youth and homeless animals together to benefit both groups. To find out more about how this partnership benefits both youth and animals, let's talk to some of the young members of the program. Please welcome Chelsea Kadabayu and Ibrahim Johnson. How are you?
Good.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about your involvement with Hand2Paw.
I got connected with Hand2Paw through an educational vocation specialist where I live in Covenant House, and I love it. I've always loved cats, so it's perfect.
Okay.
Ibrahim.
Hand2Paw, I got connected with Hand2Paw by my friend, actually, and I was looking for a job, I was down, and he actually connected me and talked to his boss, and she liked me, so I got connected with him.
Great. So obviously you like animals, right?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like all animals, or do you have favorites?
I mean, my favorite, of course, will be the kittens.
You like the kittens?
Yeah, I love the kittens, but I like all animals, even the scary ones, spiders, snakes. I like all animals.
Chelsea,
Yes.
you have a favorite?
In general?
Yes.
All animals?
All animals?
Fish, sorry.
Okay, that's good. I happen to like fish too. They're easy to care for, right? So tell me some of the work that you've been able to do during your membership with Hand2Paw.
Well, we do a lot of cleaning. That's one thing, and we basically take care of the animals. We feed them. We gotta play with them.
Right.
And we do a lot of with adoptions. We send them off into nice homes, and so yeah, it's fun.
Chelsea?
Yeah, like you said, the husbandry, and playing with them, making sure that they're sociable and okay to be adopted, because sometimes when they go from being in a shelter to the adoption center, they need time to decompress and stuff like that. So we like to make them comfortable, so that way they're more used to people, being around people, so that they can be adopted and have a good home.
help them become socialized then.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of the program?
My favorite part.
Ooh, watching the animals get adopted.
Yeah.
Watch them do it?
Watching them get adopted or adopting them
Okay,
out.
great, yeah. I can see that being fun.
I'd agree.
Adoption process,
Yeah.
what would be your second favorite then?
Second favorite is just playing with them, you know.
Playing, gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have your own pets or you just play with the pets at the program?
No, just play with the pets at the program.
I had my own pets before, but you know, I'm in a group home now and they don't let pets, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
So how do you help the pets to get adopted? What role do you play in that process?
Well, me personally, you know, I do the, you know, all the information transition and stuff. Like, you know, I take their information, make sure they're like suitable people for to take care of the pet and, you know, really look after them. And I basically focus on that.
Sometimes the cats, you know, like I said, they need time to decompress. And sometimes it's a little bit harder for certain cats to decompress. So we'll have like to do certain things for them. Like some of them, they won't like to be in their own special kennel. They like to be on the floor, you know, so that they can be with everybody, things like that. It makes them feel more comfortable. And, you know, things like that. We try to like tailor little things for each of the cats depending on what they need. And that helps them, you know, blossom and, you know, make it easier for them to get adopted.
Is there a training process that you go through to learn how to decompress the cats?
Yeah, we watch a lot of videos and we got, you know, papers that shows you like cat language, basically, and their body language and what different things that cats do mean. So, you know, if his ear's down, he's scared, you know,
Gotcha.
hissing, he's scared, so, yeah.
And how long have you both been involved again?
I've been involved.
2 months.
Yeah, about 2 months, yeah.
Oh, so you just started being involved. So in that 2-month time frame, how has this process impacted you as individuals?
I feel like it's just made me a lot happier of a person. I used to be really, really down in my mood, and I feel like this really has made me feel a lot better as a person. And it made me feel like, you know, I have a purpose and it's a good one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what she said basically, and more so to like, you know, you see a stray cat on the street, usually you just walk right past it.
Right.
Ever since I got this job, you know, I always gotta stop, pet him, you know, if I got a little treat or something to feed him, I give him some food, anything, you know. I, you know, respect cats more, and you know, they're very smart animals, very, very smart animals. Yeah, so.
So how have you used what you learned in Hand2Paw in your everyday life?
Like I said, when I see a stray cat, I know like how to, cause you know they most likely gonna be scared of
That's
humans,
right.
and you know, so I know how to like, you know, get them out of their little hole that they're hiding in, you know, like hey, here, kitty, kitty, and you know, I pet them right the right way, cause you know, all that stuff.
I'm gonna say personable skills. You know, we have to talk to people. Sometimes people just want to come in and look at the cat to see if they want to adopt, or you know, if people do want to adopt, you know, you can't, you know, you have to make sure you talk to people in a certain way. You have to be professional, you know, things like that. And that's something that you definitely do have to learn. And also, you know, how to treat animals. You know, learn how to treat animals. You have to be gentle with them. You have to be kind with them.
Yep.
And that's something that, you know, something you just take with you your whole life. You always know you can't treat every animal. I feel like you have to treat them very tenderly.
Gotcha.
You know.
You guys are both in high school?
Yeah, I am.
What grade you in?
I'm in 11th.
11th grade, and you're out of high school?
Yeah.
You going to college?
Not yet.
Not yet, thinking about it?
Yeah.
So where do you both see yourselves, say 5 years from now?
I want to be a vet tech, and also for the animals that need more help in the shelter, I would like to be a foster for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, I'm more, you know, I like working more with like cars, you know, like stuff like building stuff. I like to build
Yes, like
and
work with your
create.
hands.
Yeah. So I want to be like an auto technician and, you know, work on cars, you know, fix people cars and stuff like that. So yeah.
So do you see this program helping you achieve your future goals?
Yeah, it helped me with communication and, you know, customer service, like know how to talk to people and, you know, get stuff out the way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And If you were trying to recruit some of your friends to become part of this program, what would you say to them? Or what would you tell them why they should come and be a part of this program?
I would say it's rewarding. It's very rewarding. You feel good. You feel good about it.
That's always a good thing, feeling good, right?
Yeah.
You work with cats, bro. Like, who don't want to work with cats all day?
Right.
You know, it may seem like a pain in the butt at first. You're like, oh, it's all this fur, you know, this and that. Like, I gotta sit there and clean their poop. Like, you mean? But it's kind of fun, actually. It's really kind of fun doing that stuff. Believe it or not.
It's a service, right?
Yeah, it's a service. And you feel good after you do that. You know, give them a treat. You see the cat dancing around, happy, running around, you know. It's so cute. It's just, you know.
All right, great. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on the show. Before we wrap it up, we want to make a public service announcement.
What are you doing?
This is Kilo.
Kilo. So Kilo
6 years
needs a
old.
home,
And
right?
he is from the Brandywine,
Brandywine.
SPCA.
Yes.
And he is 6 years old. And he needs a forever home.
So if you're willing,
Dog friendly.
cat and dog friendly
And child
kid.
friendly.
and kid friendly. So if you want to give Kilo a home, contact Hand2Paw and they give you all the details. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. I'd like to thank all of my guests from Hand2Paw. If you would like to find out more about their organization, you can visit their website at hand2paw.org. I'm Derek Sawyer, and thank you for watching Future Leaders in Philadelphia, where we believe investing in our youth is investing in our future.